Hi everybody, I'm Jeffrey Madison. I'm your Director of Technology Services here today to talk to you about the multifunction printers that AU has swapped out with our old, less efficient printers. Now, they act and look just like the regular printers that we used to have, but with some key differences, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. Let's start initially right here with our screen. This is the login screen. Now there are 3 ways to log in, unlike the old way. The old way was you would enter 4 digits in and hit, and then you would be on your way. Well, this is not quite so simple. So you can you can log in with your AUID card, and the way you do that is you swipe on the swiper, which is actually behind this display attached to the back of the printer. So this is the display. This is the back of the unit, MFP, and here is the swiper right here, all right? So here's my card, all right? You can swipe up or you can swipe face down. But the important thing is your magnetic stripe has to go through the swipe, okay? So I can go up, stripe up, or I can go stripe down. Either way, it's gonna let me in. But the important thing is, remember, is if I go stripe up, but the stripe does not go through, nothing's gonna happen. If I go stripe down, but the stripe doesn't go through, nothing's gonna happen. And if you don't have your AUID card, then you can use your AUID number or you can use your username and password. Now, I can't imagine why you wouldn't have your AUID card, because otherwise, how did you get into the room? But regardless, let's say you want to use your username and password. So you press right here, username and password. You would type in your portal username. For instance, my portal username is Madison. Type that in, then my password, and then I would proceed to the next screen. So if I don't have that, but I remember my AUID number, you got to remember all 9 digits. Remember, there are 7 that most people memorize, and then there are only 2 right there at the end. Those are got to be part of the AUID number when you put it in. So for instance, if I put in mine in, I'm going to put in, first of all, you have to put in 00. Got to remember that, 00, and then your AUID number, all right? I think this is mine, and then also the last 2 digits. And then you would hit OK, and then log in. There we go, very good. This is the screen that comes up. So you've got print release. Now that's part of the paper cut function. That's part of the follow me function that we'll talk about in another video. The device function is if you're wishing to copy, then that's where you want to go. And scan is if you want to scan. So let's go with scan. So the way to scan is you can scan to your email or you can scan to another email. Now let's go scan to my email. So basically, the default is your own email. AU set this up so that when you swipe, it's all connected to your portal information. So as you can see, for me, the default is madison@american.edu. So the subject is whatever you wish it to be, and if you wish to change that, then here's the board that comes up. Now, here's another thing that's kind of neat. If you don't like using touchscreen, we actually have a keyboard that comes out from underneath, all right? So using the touch screen, you could type it all in. I'm fine with your scan to my email, so now I'm gonna hit OK, touch OK, and then the file name. So this might be very important because if you're scanning a lot of stuff to yourself, so I'm gonna go QWERTY and know that this is the one for me, QWERTY, okay? So and then what I would do, then there are a couple of ways to scan. One is, of course, you can scan using the feeder tray, or you can actually lift the entire top up and scan it through the glass. So I'm gonna go use the feeder tray today. Everything looks good to me. Black and white PDF, one-sided letter, 400 DPI. So if you wanted to change those settings, this is where you would do that, okay? And if everything is good for you, then you can either go back or just go straight to start. I'm going straight to start. It's making the scan. Next time I'll see that will be in my inbox. All right, and if everything goes well, now I want to make a copy of this document today, all right? So to make that copy, I'm going to go to device functions. You see there are 3 possibilities: print, release, device functions, and scan. So I'm going to hit device functions first. Then it's going to remind me, confirm that I am who I am. It says Madison, and then account, and then I'm going to go OK. Now once I get here, this is where there's a big difference, right? I don't know where to copy. Where am I going to copy from? Well, Not to worry, folks. Go right here to the home button and touch that, and here are your copy options. Once you get in here, there's plenty, and it's pretty intuitive, very self-explanatory. So for instance, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna push this in here, I'm gonna choose one. It's not two-sided, so I'm gonna keep it the way it is, and then I'm gonna have to hit start. Now, one thing I wanna point out to you is if you hit CA, that stands for clear all. So if you mess up on what the settings are you wish to input, then just hit clear all. Otherwise, if you're good to go, there we go. Start, and you're on your way. Now, two things to remember. At this time, if you do not touch the screen within 60 seconds of starting the process, the computer automatically logs you out. Now, it'll finish your job regardless of how long the job is, but it will log you out, and you'll have to log back in to either complete the rest of your project or in order to, well, that's it. So that is one thing we have to remember. Now, the other thing is you'll notice that it actually doesn't copy quite as fast as the other ones. When it gets started, this copying machine, this multifunction printer, will actually crank out between 35 and 75 pages per minute. But because it's scanning your copy, and because of the size and the distance it's got to go, this machine actually takes about, I don't know, 30 to 40 seconds between the time you actually hit copy and the time it actually produces the first image copied. So if it seems like it's not working, just give it a minute. It just takes a little longer, but when it gets going, it really gets cranky. All right, so check it out. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't touch this screen for 60 seconds, and it's automatically logged me out. So this is what happens, and if it looks like that, well, then here's what you do. You got to swipe your card on the swiping device, which is behind the display, or again, using your username and password or ID number, you can then log in. This time I'm going to try my card and see what happens. Now, two things I want you to remember. You can swipe either up, or face down, as long as the metal stripe goes through the swiper. And most importantly, if your card doesn't work, come see us in SOC Tech immediately, because we've got to note that, let Centric and AU know, and you'll probably actually need to get a new card from OneCard. They're free as long as you're doing a replacement, so that's not a concern to be worried about. All right, so there we go. We're back in to the display. Now I want to print release. So if I want to go to, because I printed a job, so if I want to print release, then there are no print jobs, it's telling me, so no, I've got to go home. All right, well, that's it for now. The next time we talk, I'm going to talk about how you can use the Follow Me feature of the AU system now. It's part of something called Paper Cut, and it allows you to print to your cloud account and then go here or upstairs or practically anywhere on campus and print out your document. That's it. That's all for now. I'm Jeffrey. Thanks.